Welcome back, guys, and how are we doing today? So spicy PK list. I got two quick combos I'm going to show just to kind of show why we're playing cards that we are, and then we'll dive on into the deck list. I think this deck actually has potential to be a solid rogue deck, especially just right now in general. Maybe we get a ban list that changes it and my fun engine has to get cut. However, for now it is fully playable. So we're actually going to start out with the Planet Searching a Fenrir, Special the Fenrir. This is basically Planet or Fenrir plus any PK name in hand. Obviously we have the Rhoda too, but I'm just pretending like we had the Planet and the Cloak. That's what we have in our hand. You go to your Draco set, get your tokens, get to your Cherubini, and then at this point it's pretty obvious what you do. So you go Rusty, summon, then obviously get your set, go into your blocker, that's your discard outlet. So then you go Cloak can go ahead, grab your Staying Grief, special summon, make it a level 4. Then we go into Utopia double, going for the you get the spell, which actually this works as a good OTK engine as well. Like, you don't need Boral Sword, you don't need access code, you put out an insane amount of damage. Obviously you can see there, but going first, you then rank up into Kali Yuga and just negate everything if they try to use an effect from their hand, because they can activate hand and grave, but if they activate in hand, obviously it goes to the field and then it becomes negated due to the Kali Yuga. And even versus trap decks, if they don't have like all their monsters and board that you're trying to negate or stop, they set their back row, it's quick effect, you can pop all the other spell and traps on the field, and that's pretty strong. So what else can the Kashtira engine do? Because sure, that's cool, but what if you don't want your Fenrir to just disappear? You want to keep it, or you want to use it a bit more. Well, Riseheart actually can be a level 4 as well, so let's check that one out. So this time we actually don't have any PK name, but we do have a little bit more of a hand that we're going to use, not necessarily efficiently, but just kind of as we went. I did have a slight misclick later. Keep in mind though, your Fenrir summon, like in an instance like this where you're keeping your Fenrir, we show off the Link 4, which is Nightmare Griffin, because it's just auto win versus some matchups. Place your Fenrir a little more properly, because mine's over here where it's actually not going to be anything but a beater, because it's not going to be linked. So just keep that in mind. Or at this point you would summon, or a little bit later, you'd summon Rusty over here to get that arrow to it. However, I wasn't thinking about it. Again, just trying to hurry up and get the combo down and then show you guys that. So anyway, we get to Cherubini still, Grapha to our Seer. Then we go ahead, Rusty, bring back, pretty, like I said, standard stuff at this point. Utopia double, having the double or nothing, is really the only brick in the deck too. We could have just straight up sent Silent Boots and then went Brigadine, summon, Riseheart, summon, then go into Utopia double, and then you just banish to get the rank up spell there. I was trying to show the Griffin here, and I played it a little awkwardly, and then actually on the Griffin summon I accidentally misclicked and clicked yes. E-Telly is the only card in the grave though. Going to the Levier because we want follow-up, getting that Cloak back to the graveyard. Again, discarding that. It worked out because I was like, oh sweet, yeah, discard, reset a card, and then get the free body. But one, I don't need the body. Two, E-Telly, I mean, it can summon a Wheelator or Tracker, whatever one I didn't go, Wheelator. So I mean, it's an extender for next turn. It gets me into a play line next turn if I even had the space for it, but I don't even have the board space for it. So sometimes the discard is good, but other times it's just not, because you don't need that spell or trap back from the graveyard. I could have, say, discarded, I don't know, something more impactful. If we had, say, a Fogblade engrave or something, you could set that for additional disruption. But then you special the Brigadine, and since we still have the Fenrir on field too, you can special summon Riseheart because you want to, and then it is a level 4, so actually you don't need that PK in hand if you're able to get to Cherubini while keeping your Fenrir on field and the Riseheart in hand. And Kaiser only needs to summon 1, you don't have to summon 2, so if you goof up like that, it still works out decently well. Then again, Kali Yuga, whole bunch of damage. Obviously once Kali Yuga hits the board, the Nightmare Griffin is no longer doing anything, but like versus Branded, Nightmare Griffin is just, if they can't out it, they can't play. They can't special summon, or, well, they can special summon, but they can't use effects. So jumping on into the deck list, definitely still working on it. The main deck I'm pretty happy with. The extra deck I'm still toying around with. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the Griffin. Otherwise, the Shanger era is kind of niche, but it's neat, especially like with Field Spell, because you can out things like Skill Drain or Floodgates. Standby phase effect to summon from deck. It resolves negated, but then Planet can pop the Skill Drain. So that's kind of nice, but again, that probably doesn't need to be there. Downward for a bigger Zeus is nice too, but again, maybe doesn't need to be there. So that's 2 cards to cut, potentially 3. Like I said, still working on the extra deck, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been working on, and if anyone has ideas, I am all for it. Let's make this deck good again. Triple Boot, triple Torn Scales. I was messing around with just the 2, but then I went to 50 cards, so the 3rd went in. Likewise with Ancient Cloak, we went to 50 cards, and then I want to see a name for a discard more often, so we bumped it up to 3. The one Stained Greaves was on 2 until I realized I didn't have Rhoda in the deck, so then we cut it back down to 1 and added Rhoda, because Rhoda is any of them. The one Ragged Gloves, the Psychics, then we have our Dangers, just rank 3 stuff. The Pseudo Bricks and Graph and Seer, they're not full-on bricks, because like if you open one of them, it's not as bad, because you can still get to Cherubini, then say like dump Cloak, and then just special summon it from your hand and to get to your Rusty and keep playing. You don't necessarily want to, because you get one less body on board, but again, they're not necessarily bricks. They're like pseudo bricks, because you don't want to open them, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Zayaman, Foxy Tune, and Ogre Dance, just more turbo out level 3s. You got your Wielders, your Dangers, your Zayamans, obviously your Foxy Summons, your Zayaman Search, Ogre Search, Amen, Normal Summon Amen, go to Cherubini, or just go Zayaman, search Foxy Tune effect, summon Zayaman, go to Cherubini. If you open Ogre, you go Ogre to Zayaman, summon Zayaman, search Foxy, then your other Zayaman gets summoned. So that's how the Punk Engine works there. E-Telly can obviously work with your Psychics or with your Punk Engine. Fenrir and Riseheart, we just showed that off, kind of what to do there, because I feel like the rest is way more common and typical to see. 3 Ash, the 1 Rank Up, the 1 Rhoda, the 1 Double or Nothing, and opening like Rank Up or like Brigadine is just good, because that's just one less name or one less piece that you have to do in the combo. You can go for like a Fog Blade then, or you can get Disrupted once instead. Things like that, where if you open the combo pieces, you don't have to do the combo as hard. 3 Telly, 3 Planet, 1 Terraforming. So we're playing 7 starters here, 3 more there, 5 more there. Like that's 8, 15, 15 basically 1 card starters, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like you're playing so many starters. The deck is actually pretty consistent. This is the 1 True Brick, because if you open it, you can't use the Utopia double effect, which means you can't summon Utopia Kaiser, which means you can't summon Big Eye, which means you cannot summon Kali Yuga. So do keep that in mind. Where else are we? 3 Dark Ruler, 2 Thrust, 1 Talent, 1 Fog Blade, 1 Brigadine, 3 Infinite Impermanence. I know a lot of PK lists typically are like all gas and just go for it. Me, I like my decks to play a fair amount of going second stuff, like 10 cards and 40. So I was like, okay, so 50, we'll go for like 12 to 13 at a minimum. We got 3 Ash, 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Imperms, and then the triples. So I mean that's 12 there, but then Fenrir also doubles up as a going second card, and Planet and Terraforming help with that. So I felt like I'm playing a good amount. Ash is just too good right now not to play, although it is low impact in some matchups, likewise with Imperm. But we got the 6 power spells, we got the Fenrirs, and pretty happy overall with the list. one break sword, the one levier. Again, Downward could definitely get cut. Utopia double, Utopia Kaiser. Maybe we go a different Kali Yuga route, even like a PK Raid Raptor package potentially. I don't know. Maybe that's the better play. Save some extra deck space, or just be a little more resilient. But for now, this is what we're messing with. Obviously, the Kali Yuga, the Big Eye, Dracossack, Shanger Era, niche, get out of floodgates, get out of weird situations. If you don't need your, like the Fenrir Rise Heart for the combo, you have combo, you can do that and have, like, say, Planet with your Shanger Era, and then Shanger Era summons Fenrir, so you'll have the Fenrir effect, and you'll also have a pop via Planet. Just kind of nice that way. The Zeus, then Cherubini, Rusty, blocker, and lastly the Nightmare Griffin, which is another card that you could potentially cut or, say, play something else. I thought about even like Appaloosa and cut this for like IP, and then you can go like IP on their turn, then IP into like Appaloosa, or IP even into Griffin still, IP into Avermax, and then do your Kali Yuga play. But yeah, there's a few different things you can go for. Obviously, you're not going to want to go Appaloosa and then Kali Yuga, because you're just negating your Appaloosa, and it becomes like instantly pointless. But like Avermax or Griffin, these other boss Link 4 monsters. Let me know down below once again what you think of the list, what you thought of the playlines, and how can we make it better. I'm going to keep testing it and playing it. Just the other day when I was playing, I went 3-1 at a small locals. It was pretty fun. Played 2 Despia, 1 Spright, and 1 Grand Maju. And then playing online the other night, I beat 2 Labyrinth and 2 Kashtira, and then I called it a night. So the deck's been a lot of fun, and I want to see where it keeps going. But thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.